Welcome to 2.2 notes. Working on division this time. Hint, hint. It's very similar to multiplication. Okay. So our I can statement is I can develop rules for integer division. Okay. So just like we saw different ways to do multiplication, there's different ways to do division. Okay. So using the example of 15 divided by 3, we can also do 15 slash 3 or 15 over 3, right? Because fractions are just fancy division problems. Right? If I have a circle and I split it into 4 parts, I divided that circle into 4 parts. So I took one whole circle and I divided it into 4 pieces. 1/4. It's just a division problem. See, fractions aren't that scary. They're just division. Okay, so these are different ways. You could also do the long division way. I just want to point out that these two fraction forms mean division. So simplify when you can. So just like we did with multiplication, I'm going to have you go through this little activity. Find the pattern, continue the pattern, see what you notice. Okay? So from 10 to 5, I subtracted 5. 5 to 0, subtract 5. 0 minus 5 is negative 5. Negative 5 minus 5 is negative 10. So each time we subtracted 5. Go ahead and do the same thing for multiplication. Pause here. From negative 2 to 1, I added 1. Negative 1 to 0, I added 1. I'm going to continue that pattern. 0 plus 1 is 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. So what we did each time is we added 1. So what do you notice about a quotient, the answer to a division problem, whose dividends, the numbers you're dividing, have different signs? So a negative and a positive. Or here we have a positive and a negative. A positive and a negative. What do you notice about those? Write about it real quick. What I notice is that when they had different signs, their answer was negative. So the quotient, the answer to a division problem, okay. Then what do you notice about dividends who have the same sign? So when you're dividing two numbers that are both positive or both negative, what type of sign does their answer have? Those are all positive numbers, so the quotient is positive. So Is that the same or different than our multiplication rules? Hint, it's the same. So, addition and subtraction had different rules. Multiplication and division, amazing, have the same rules. Right. So that's what we're going to do here. So when you're dividing expressions with the same sign, we said same sign, have a quotient that is positive. So that's a positive divided by a negative, or a negative divided by a positive. Expressions with different signs, we said, has a quotient that is negative. So, oh, I said same sign, but I wrote different signs up here. My bad. So a positive divided by a negative, or a negative divided by a positive. So when you're dividing two numbers that have different signs, your answer, quotient, your answer is negative. When you're dividing two numbers that have the same signs, so both positive, both negative, your answer is positive. Expressions that have a dividend of 0 will have a quotient that is 0. Right, because 0 divided by anything is 0. I can't have nothing and then split it into groups. I still have nothing. Okay. So let's practice. 54 divided by negative 9. Start with 54 divided by 9 is 6. Here we have a positive divided by a negative. Those are different. Different signs will have a quotient that is negative. So our answer is going to be a negative 6. Okay. Negative 39 divided by negative 13. Ooh, that should be in parentheses. Ooh. That's okay. Let's do it the long division way. That doesn't really help. I'm going to tell you that it's 3. Okay. Here we have a negative divided by a negative. Those are the same sign. Same signs have an answer that's positive. So our answer is positive 3. Okay. Remember, fraction bars are just fancy division. I prefer them. I will almost always write it as a fraction and not the division sign. It's my habit. Okay. So this is really 22 divided by negative 2. Okay. 22 divided by 2 is 11. Then we have a positive divided by a negative. Those are different. So our answer is negative. So negative 11. Okay. Here we have negative 48 divided by negative 8. 48 divided by 8 is 6. A negative divided by a negative, those are the same. So our answer is positive 6. Okay. And then just one more thing about division. So when we write division as a fraction and it's negative, the negative, and there's like one negative in it, the negative sign can apply to either the numerator or the denominator. Okay. So here our fraction is negative 18 over 2. That can be a negative 18 over positive 2 or 18 over negative 2. So that that negative can apply to either one or the other. Not both, one or the other. So here we're going to rewrite these with a sign in the numerator and then with the denominator. So that negative can go with that 12. Or the 12 can stay positive and that negative goes with the 13. So when you see division like this, it can help you figure out what the answer should be. All right? And then 1 divided by negative 2 with the sign in front, that negative just comes out front and we just have 1/2. It's just negative 1/2. Oh, that's it. Congrats, you're done. You just have the practice. So just make sure that you're paying attention to if they have the same sign or different. What's the rule? You got this.